Some folks might have been bummed out, discovering their partner sneaking around cheating. But what I went through was way worse. Get this. My husband actually gave me a heads up he was going to cheat.
An old flame invited me over, so please allow me this one night of infidelity.
When I said okay, he was over the moon.
Thank you. Honestly, really is the best policy in a marriage, huh?
Yeah, honesty is great and all. So I decided to live by that too, no matter what happens to him. I'm Beth. My boyfriend John can't tell a lie to save his life and can never turn anyone down when they ask for a favor, always ready to lend a hand. That's part of why I love him so much. Getting married felt like we were on our way to becoming that couple with no secrets, full of trust. One weekend, he comes to me all serious and says,
Beth, you fell for my honesty, right?
That's right.
And my inability to say no to people.
Uh-huh. Then he slowly pulls out this receipt from his wallet.
Being honest with you, Beth, I went here on my way back from work yesterday.
Showing me a receipt from some downtown club. You spent $1,000?
My boss really wanted to go, and then ditched me with a bill.
This can be expensed, right?
The thing is, our company doesn't really do entertainment expenses.
Then you shouldn't just say no.
You know I can't say no. Other guys might hide this from their wives, but I want to be upfront. You'd want that, right?
Well, I guess it's better than sneaking around.
Right? I knew you would see it my way.
This only encouraged him to start splurging more often, showing me receipt every time.
Hey Beth, I found this wallet I was eyeing at the department store and just had to buy it.
$700? You had your old wallet, and why go for something so pricey?
I was just window shopping, but the salesperson convinced me to come in, and I just couldn't resist.
That's quite a splurge.
But I can't just say no when I pushed. You know me.
And it happened again the next day.
Beth, this is a tab from last night's drinks.
Seems a bit steep, doesn't it?
Turns out, I ended up covering for my juniors.
What do you mean?
I suggested going out, and they said they were broke until payday. I couldn't just ignore that.
But we are tight on cash too, with that bonus not here yet.
We've got savings. I just can't say no.
He reasoned, emphasizing his inability to refuse. It's like he thinks he can get away with anything as long as he sets up to me. Then one day, he's like,
Beth, is it okay if I go out this weekend?
Sure, but where are you going?
Actually, an ex-girlfriend called me up for a chat.
And you're meeting her alone?
Yeah, she says it's something private.
This ex, Susan, you showed me on social media. She's married, right? Doesn't it seem odd for her to meet a married man alone?
What? You think there is something going on between me and Susan? If I had something to hide, I wouldn't be telling you.
But...
Don't worry. I've already said yes anyway.
Without asking me first?
How could I refuse when she's depending on me? You know, I can't do that.
Okay. I agreed, though the thought of him meeting his ex alone worried me. And sure enough, my fears were justified. Late that night, John calls.
Sorry for the late contact, Beth.
I've been worried. What time will you be back? You can catch the last train, right?
Actually, I can't make it home tonight.
What do you mean?
Susan is having trouble with her husband and doesn't want to go home tonight. She told him she is staying at a friend's.
Wait. I'm lost. So was this the plan all along? For you two to stay together?
Yeah, seemed like she wanted to distract herself by meeting me, just for old time's sake.
Old time's sake? Like when you were dating? That's cheating.
But it's just for tonight. That's why I'm telling you.
Excuse me? Cheating is cheating, whether it's for a night or not.
But it's better than doing it secretly, right? This is my way of showing I'm honest.
Unbelievable.
She insisted she needed me, saying no one else would do. After being asked like that, you understand I can't refuse, right? Please, just for tonight.
My husband was basically asking me to approve his cheating. It didn't seem right at all. As I struggled for words, a voice that seems to be Susan interrupted. John, are you done yet? He quickly told me to hold on and started talking to her, apparently forgetting to put me on hold. Their conversation was crystal clear. John, are you sure you can convince your wife?
Just a bit more push. She loves that I can't lie and can't say no when asked. So she's just a dumb woman who will forgive anything as long as I'm honest.
Really? That's so stupid.
Right? Once she says okay, it's all good. If I declare it beforehand, I can meet you as much as I want. Being able to cheat this openly is all thanks to me choosing such a foolish wife.
John, you're really smart when it comes to things like this.
Yeah, and if I come up with a reasonable excuse, she will let me spend as much money as I want. I will buy your designer back next time.
Really?
Yeah, I will just tell her Arjunia asked for it, and it will be fine.
Oh, I love you, John.
Me too, Susan.
Now hurry up and convince that foolish wife of yours.
On it.
Holding my phone, my hands trembled. So I guess this was who really was. I had been deceived by him all this time. By the time I realized it, my feelings for him had completely cooled off. Unaware that I had overheard the conversation, John came back on the line.
Sorry to keep you waiting, Beth. She really doesn't want to go home.
It's fine. Listening to you, I realize how important it is to be honest. Do what you want.
Thank you, Beth. I knew you would understand.
He ended the call, sounding pleased. Right after that, I made another call. Having done what needed to be done, I was finally able to sleep. The next morning, John returned home in a great mood.
I'm back.
Welcome back. You seem quite happy.
Yeah, I was just thinking about how great you are. If I had gone back then, I would have felt terrible towards Susan. But I hate keeping secrets from you, so being honest was the right choice. Being honest is really important, huh?
Yes, it is. Will you always be honest with me?
Of course. I will never lie or keep secrets from you. No matter what happens, I will tell you everything.
Don't forget those words. Just then, the doorbell rang. Looks like they've arrived. John asked, puzzled.
Who?
I silently let the visitor in. The man who appeared confronted John immediately.
So you must be Susan's lover. What do you mean?
Right after John's declaration of infidelity, I had called Susan's husband Mark. Your wife is having an affair with my husband. He seems to have suspected something and quickly believed me. He wanted to talk to my husband, so I gave him our address. John, comparing me and Mark, was visibly nervous. Mark said,
I heard from your wife that you were with mine last night. Explain yourself. Beth told you?
He seems to finally grasp the situation and started to explain hurriedly.
It's not what you think. It seems there's been a misunderstanding. A misunderstanding? Yes, I was with Susan last night, but it was like a reunion. Nothing happened.
I quickly intervened. John, forgot what you said earlier? You promised to be honest. You told me last night was just a one-time thing and asked me to forgive your affair with Susan. Hearing this, Mark became even more furious.
So, you were cheating after all?
Realizing he couldn't deny it any longer, John finally admitted to the affair. As he apologized profusely, Mark threatened to sue for damages. In the end, John had no choice but to accept whatever was demanded of him. After making him sign a document for the compensation and seem satisfied, Mark finally left. Once we were alone, John turned on me.
Why the hell did you contact her husband?
Because you said we should always be honest, and it wouldn't be fair if I was the only one who knew the truth. He had no comeback and lowered his voice.
But not everyone is as understanding as you. Let's forget the past and focus on how to repay this compensation. We can't go on living like before. This debt won't pay itself off. He really charged us a hefty sum.
Well, you don't have the right to refuse, do you? It's not like you were in a position to negotiate the amount.
Yeah, but if it's you and me, we can surely get through this. Beth, can you take on more work?
Why should I?
There is a limit to how much we can cut back on living expenses. And my company doesn't allow side jobs. You will need to take on more work and put that towards a repayment.
No, I'm asking why I should pay for your compensation.
Because we are a married couple. We are supposed to be one.
Don't be ridiculous. Why should I, the one cheated on, have to clean up your mess?
But you agreed to my affair. That means you have to pay too.
That's ridiculous. If anything, I should be the one demanding compensation.
Demanding compensation between spouses doesn't make sense.
Yes, it does. I have no intention of staying your wife any longer.
What? Why?
Don't you understand? Reflect on your actions. Spending our money because you can't say no, and then cheating on top of that. Do you think anything is forgivable just because you're honest? I don't want to be with such a stupid husband anymore. I handed him a divorce papers I had prepared. Let's get a divorce. Our marriage is over.
But we've been doing fine until now.
You're the only one who thinks that. I have been tolerating and lying about my feelings all this time. From now on, I too will live honestly. Honesty is important, just like you said. My honest feeling now is that I want to divorce you as soon as possible. That's all there is to it.
Beth!
Goodbye. Good luck with your life, you honest jerk. I had already packed my things. I spilled out everything I wanted to say and left the house. The house would eventually be disposed of and become part of the division of assets. I don't want to see John's face anymore. With the affair being so evident, getting compensation is certain. It might be nice to stay somewhere luxurious for a while and slowly look for a new partner. He didn't say anything back that day, perhaps having no room to argue. The next day, as soon as I arrived at work, he called me.
Did you talk to people at my company about me?
After his declaration of cheating, I hadn't just contacted Susan's husband. I had told everyone about the affair's details, his workplace, both our parents, relatives, and friends. Yes, if you want to be so honest, it's best that not just I know the truth, but others as well. He raised his voice more than ever before.
Are you out of your mind? There are things you should and shouldn't say.
I didn't know you had such criteria. So telling your wife you're going to cheat is considered okay for you.
Alright, I was wrong, Beth. Help me. I was called to the executive office first thing in the morning, and I'm being transferred to the countryside.
Oh, really?
With the affair rumors spreading throughout the company, I can't work at the headquarters anymore. My salary will drop significantly, and there's the alimony repayment. I can't make it without you.
You should have thought more about my feeling then. It's too late now.
You! I'm trying to make amends here, and being transferred is partly because what you did to the company, so I won't pay your alimony.
Oh, you're refusing to pay the compensation I'm asking for? I thought you couldn't refuse requests from others.
That depends on the situation.
You fell for your own double standards. Basically, you've destroyed yourself. Unfortunately, I won't withdraw the compensation claim. It's something you have to pay legally, whether you like it or not.
Fine. I won't ask you for anything.
So you will pay it then. Remember, we're splitting the savings for the asset division. So don't touch my share.
I know. I've done favors for friends before. If I just ask around, plenty will lend me money.
Are you sure about that? If they know it's for your cheating compensation, your friends might think it's your just desserts and not want to lend you money.
I'm not going to tell them that. I will just say I need a loan because I'm in trouble.
They already know, even if you don't tell them.
Did you tell my friends too?
Being honest is your policy, right?
Gosh darn it! Then I have no choice but to ask my mom.
Your mother, huh?
Don't tell me you.
Yes, I've told your parents everything too. Being honest is tough, huh? During your affair with Susan, I had to inform Susan's husband, your company, friends, and even your parents and relatives. It was quite busy.
You piece of...
I could feel his despair over the phone. He's facing days of repaying alimony alone in the countryside, a result of the seeds he sowed by wielding honesty as a shield. Meanwhile, I've met another man years later, and I'm about to remarry. This time, my partner is someone who considers my feelings, knows when to say no to bad things, and can refuse properly. It seems obvious, but only after leaving John did I realize the importance of such basic things. This time around, it looks like I will have a happy marriage life.